a critical break. It's Hodgson from Novalak, McDonald, Knott, and Ross Martin. And there's Ross Martin adjusting down the straight. Behind the top 5. A gap of already 1.7 seconds to a 3-wide scrap for 6th. They go on to the bridge, and now they appear on the TV screens as well. That is now Archie Tillett in 6th position in the number 21 Fullerton chassis. Zach Folk is next. Then it's Connor Jupp, Shea Pierce and Gus Lawrence are side by side. Behind them, Ben Davis, Chris Lawrence and Harrison Thomas still at the back. But Oliver Hodgson stretching out his advantage. As they go into the Mike Wilson complex on lap 2, Hodgson leads by 10 kart lengths, maybe more. McDonald passes Novalak for 2nd. Luke Knott and Ross Martin are falling away, and I think Ross Martin's shaking his head a little bit. He's probably itching to get past Luke Knott, but Luke Knott doesn't have to let him pass, so he won't. Down the hill, Hodgson's lead at the end of lap number 2, 7/10 of a second. And those of you watching the timing screens, you'll see, well, the lap times aren't very good. 56 seconds. That's 2 seconds, over a second slower. I said, well, that's the difference between this class of kart and all the others. In the other classes, you're doing your best laps at the start when the tyres are nice. In this class, you're almost coaxing your kart up to optimum operating conditions when it matters most. Across the line, McDonald is closer. 55.35 on lap 3 for Dean McDonald. He gains nearly 2/10 on the race leader Oliver Hodgson on that lap alone. Through turn 3, Novalak in the number 10 Team Oaks kart, just sitting behind McDonald, allowing Dean to do the work. Oh, and behind them there's 2 karts come together, coming off the Litchfield Bridge. One of them was Archie Tillett, and he was able to keep the number 21 kart running. The other one was Zach Folk. Now, Zach Folk will have to try and bump start his kart. The good thing is that he's at the top of a long hill, but realistically, his chances of a decent result, he has got it going again. Folk in the number 34 kart in the race, but not with any chance of a good result, unless there may be a Battenberg flag. We saw one in one of the earlier cadet races, which would allow Folk to catch up again, but we shall see. Hopefully that number 34 kart will still run. Hodgson on that last lap only lost 0.08 of a second to Dean McDonald. 55.21 now for the Scotsman. Novalak going with McDonald. And Luke Knott actually was quicker than the 3 leaders last time around. So now we know why Luke Knott was so disinclined to let Ross Martin go, because he knew that his kart was going to come on shortly and he wanted to be in 4th, not 5th. Ross Martin on the team right entry is still right behind Luke Knott, but not pressuring as much as he was. And into 6th position, a long way back in 6th position, is now Connor Jupp in the 35 Evolution Racing machine. Gus Lawrence for Team BMR is 7th. Ben Davis is 8th. Shea Pierce 9th. Archie Tillett 10th. Harrison Thomas 11th. Chris Lawrence 12th. And Zach Folk 13th. Good lap from Clement Novalak. 55.13, and he uses that added momentum to pass McDonald for 2nd. However, that gives Hodgson a little bit of clean air. The 2 green and white Tony karts running in 2nd and 3rd. Different teams operating them. Team Oaks for the number 10 kart of Novalak. Strawberry Racing for the number 51 of Dean McDonald. I forgot to mention that the prize is an OTK chassis and engine from Vortex for the winner. I'm assuming. Hodgson now leads by 0.9 of a second. And It's almost as though Ollie Hodgson could sense when they were battling for second, because he chooses this moment to put in a new fastest lap, 55.11, capitalising on the fact that Novalak, although he made the pass, he would have lost and have had to gone off the optimum line and therefore slowed himself down pace-wise. So while we're a little bit static at the front, the best battle on track is coming up the short chute now. Jump in the 35, wheel to wheel with Pierce in the 16, and they both allow Archie Tillett to go through. And I think it's safe to say that after that, Pierce and Jupp will not be on each other's Christmas card list. Hodgson on to another lap. 8.5 minutes to go. And Oliver Hodgson now leads by over 1 second. I think we haven't seen a lead of more than 1 second virtually all weekend. I'm just looking. Well, the first race was a bit of an anomaly because nearly everybody retired, but generally it's been very close. McDonald, with a sense of urgency, repasses Novalak at the second hairpin. Signals to Clement, come on, let's work together. Come on, we've got to go to the front. But that would have cost them both time. Oh, Harrison Thomas is slowing in the number 26 cart as he came out of the second hairpin. Was that a temporary problem? Well, he looks like he's back up to speed. 1.5 seconds now, the gap. Actually, the fast lap times have dropped off a little bit. It's much warmer now than it was during the pre-final this morning. That will have an effect on track conditions. More rubber has been laid down. That'll affect things. And maybe the fact that Oliver Hodgson is not having to drive under so much intense pressure and pushing himself along like they did in the pre-final, where Novalak, McDonald and Hodgson were nose to tail all the way through. Maybe Hodgson is just that little bit more circumspect. He's controlling things with 7 minutes to go. McDonald and Novalak nose to tail coming out of the Mike Wilson complex now. Novalak looks to the inside of McDonald, but McDonald has the pace down the main straight, hangs on to top spot, and Hodgson pulls out another 3/10 on that lap alone. Well, whatever, and Dean McDonald does a 55.5. That is half a second off what he was doing this morning. It's 4/10 off what Hodgson has been doing in this race. And Clement Novalak in cart number 10, the frustration is building almost, because he looks over his shoulder and sees the number 44 of Luke Knott getting bigger and bigger as Knott gets closer and closer. Ross Martin is 5th and is only 3.5 seconds off the lead. And Gus Lawrence, Team BMR outfit, has now, well, I say he had briefly established himself in 6th. Because 6th place has been the subject of much dispute since the start of the race. Ben Davis now has it. Lawrence slips back to 7th. Tillett is 8th. Jupp and Pierce still fighting over 9th. Lawrence and Folk are next. In fact, Chris Lawrence is 11th and Folk 12th. We've lost Harrison Thomas. He has retired. And we've now got a 3-cart battle for second. Novalak has passed McDonald, and Luke Knott has caught his Strawberry Racing teammate. Oliver Hodgson's lead stands at 2.2 seconds with 5 minutes to go. Onto the banking goes the race leader, chased under the bridge by the 2nd, 3rd and 4th place carts. Ross Martin in the black and red Simon Wright design is all on his own in 5th. Again, this is Ross's 2nd event kart race of the season. He's shown he's lost none of his pace. Behind Ross Martin there is a gap of 5 seconds to the number 11, Dan Holland racing kart of Ben Davis, with Gus Lawrence and Archie Tillett following in close quarters. Then Connor Jupp and Shay Pearce having their own private battle over 9th. Chris Lawrence in 11th and Zach Falk 12th. Hodgson makes another adjustment. It's a 55.1. Novalak in second is pulling away from McDonald, but even though he's in clean air for the first time in a long time, he can only do a 55.23. 2.5 seconds now. Hodgson's advantage. Hodgson, his only Kart Masters title so far, came back in 2013 in senior Rotax. And he's not thinking about it yet. He's got 3 minutes to go. Down into the Mike Wilson complex. The 3 Tony Kart, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Novalak, McDonald and Knott simply not close enough. Behind them a good 3 kart scrap developing for 6th. Ben Davis in the 11, Gus Lawrence in the 85 and Archie Tillett in the 21. And there on the screens, Hodgson going through the banking. And once again, the production company here, they've got live graphics on screen as well. So obviously my commentary is going out to the circuit as well as on the screens, but I'm not always looking at the screens. But for those of you watching at home, you can follow the race order even if you're looking at karts that I'm not discussing. You'll see the graphics, live graphics, as Archie Tillett makes the move. At the second hairpin on Gus Lawrence, and some innovations this weekend. Start investigations have been flashing up on the TV monitors as well. Two minutes to go. And Clement Novalak turns the screw, goes 55.01. That is 200ths of a second off the track record. Has he left it too late? Well, Hodgson's lead has come down from 2.5 to 2.1 seconds, but we've got 90 seconds plus a lap remaining. Is Novalak throwing caution to the wind now and just giving it maximum waft, and if it blows itself into 1,000 pieces, so be it. We'll see what the times are this time around. Novalak is already 2/10 up on Hodgson this lap alone. On to the start-finish straight. 1 minute 10 seconds. Hodgson 1.8 seconds to the good. Another 55.0 for Clement Novalak. Well, Hodgson's not going to be unduly concerned yet. He's dropped his pace by a couple of tenths as Oliver Hodgson. 55.3s he's now running. Round the first hairpin. McDonald 3rd, Knott 4th, Martin 5th, Davis is 6th, Tillett 7th, Lawrence in 8th, then Jupp and Pearce. 30 seconds to go. Novalak is a 10th up already on Hodgson around this lap. This being the 16th lap. We go now on to lap 17, 10 seconds on the race clock. Next time around, Oliver Hodgson will see the last lap board. Novalak has shaved 1 second off his lead in the last 3 laps, but we've got 1.5, 1 2/3 laps remaining, and the Hodgson's lead is 1.6 seconds. So it is not enough. Now Oliver Hodgson is into the phase of just making sure we don't clip a curb too aggressively, which might ping a chain off. Just managing the kart and all the components. Oh, still battle going on at the first hairpin. Shay Pearce and Connor Jupp, who have been going at it hammer and tongs for the last 10 minutes or so. Jupp repasses Pearce, and that is for 10th place. But here comes Oliver Hodgson. Last lap board is displayed. through the Bruno Ferrari chicane, under the Litchfield Bridge, out onto the banking. He veers left, using the contour of the circuit to his advantage, turns right down the hill, and now has the two chicanes. Novalak checks over his shoulder just to make sure there's no pressure from behind. Luke Knott looks like he's lining up a potential last gasp bid for a podium. He hasn't got close enough to McDonald yet through the second hairpin, but Oliver Hodgson comes into the Bobby Game corner. Well, in the British OK Championship this year, Hodgson is having to play second fiddle at the moment with one round of that series to go to Dean McDonald. But today, in the Grand Prix, no one plays second fiddle to Oliver Hodgson, who takes the inaugural Senior OK Kart Masters title. And Oliver Hodgson, oh, what's happened to Ross Martin? Ross Martin, the cart cried enough, literally on the line, and Ross drops from 5th back to 8th. Clement Novalak, probably his only appearance on UK soil this year, he finishes second in kart number 10. Dean McDonald started the front row, finishes third, just didn't have an answer in that race for Oliver Hodgson, but another podium for Dean McDonald, and he can console himself by the fact that he is still leading the British Championship in this class over Hodgson. Luke Knott, a terrible 2 days, Friday and Saturday, a great day Sunday, finishes 4th. Archie Tillett, 5th in the Fullerton kart. Then Ben Davis, Gus Lawrence, Ross Martin, and the battle between Shay Pearce and Connor Jupp was settled right at the end in the favour of Shay Pearce. Jupp 10th, Chris Lawrence 11th, Zach Fulkin 12th, and sadly Harrison Thomas failed to finish. And Oliver Hodgson joins the likes of Cato Adams, Chris Rogers, David Bell Chambers, Justin Edgar, Alex Alban, Jack Harvey, Jack Barlow, and Cian Jewis on 2 Kart Masters titles.